Inconvenient things are always going to happen, no matter how well you plan out your path to success. So I want to ask you, what are you going to do about it? The mindset to choose opportunity over devastation when something goes wrong is a choice. It's 100% a choice. And I want to give you an example that is happening to me right now. So this past weekend, I was riding my motorcycle and the front wheel got stuck in the mud and it flipped. And so I had my motorcycle land on top of me. I have pretty massive burns. So I've got 3rd-degree burns, which I can't feel, and I've got 2nd-degree burns, and then the tissue underneath is really sore. So, I could be sitting in the corner crying. And yes, I have cried over it when the pain has gotten really bad, but I've also seen the opportunity in it. So whether I like it or not, this is now a story about, listening to my tuition versus letting ambition rule my world. It is an opportunity for me to look at my work schedule because, the first couple of days, usually I do a live on Monday. I couldn't because I was just overwhelmed with pain. But it also made me go, okay, what are the things that I need to do in the week that get me the best reward? Anyone who knows me always knows I'm paring things down. 80-20 rule on everything. So this has been a massive learning week about what is actually necessary to get to where I want to go. But it's also about reframing what is happening. So a little thing can happen and we can think it's the end of the world. A big thing can happen and we can think it's the end of the world. A little thing can happen and we can see it as an opportunity. A big thing can happen and we can see it as an opportunity. It is a choice. And, I have been through lots of crappy things. Most people have as well. And I always turn it into opportunity. So if we look at my life, I could be, letting myself fail. I lost my career due to an injury. I've been assaulted over 30 times. Not like minor assaults, major assaults. I have lived out of my car because I lost everything. I have, hit rock bottom a few times. And what I've done with it is choose to see the opportunity in that moment. And it doesn't mean that I don't feel the things. It doesn't mean that I'm shoving everything down. I promise you, I have felt everything. But then I'm choosing to reframe it. And we can stay stuck in the moments where we feel like we're having a major setback, or we can take those moments and go, okay, what can I learn from this? What is the silver lining to this? What is the thing that I can learn to move myself forward and not have this happen again? And some people always feel like the world is conspiring against them. If you look at my life, you could say the world seems like it really did conspire against me, but I don't see it that way. I see it as, okay, there's so many things I've had to learn that make me really good with my clients because I've been through worst case in a lot of different situations. And that allows me to be empathetic to people. It allows me to relate to them. It allows me to be able to help them to reframe things if they choose to reframe them. So it really does come down to choice. And what I want people to really understand is, nothing is ever going to be convenient. Nothing's going to be handed to you. And so you need to be resilient. You need to be ready to have contingency plans because, you could be working really hard and suddenly have a heart attack and you're in the hospital. You could be living the life in Nicaragua and then have a motorcycle accident and be living by yourself and having to try and get around with a massive burn on your leg. You could be in so many different scenarios, killing it and living what you think is your dream life. And then you get knocked out of the sky. I call it being slapped out of the sky by the universe. So it sucks when it happens. Let's be honest, it sucks. Beginning of this week, super sucked with pain. But I've also been able to carry forward because I've been able to reframe it. So when it comes to success, I want you to know that you're going to have those ups and downs. You've seen the pictures where it's like, this is how I thought success was going to go. And this is really the path that it took, right? And it is the truth. There's very few people who have had a linear path to success where they started here and they decide, I'm going to get to this point and it's going to be amazing. And they get there in a straight line. Most people, if they say that's what's happened, they're lying. So you got to expect that you're going to get taken off track. It's normal. But what are you going to do about it? So are you going to be able to take a step back and see the situation for what it is? Take get out of the emotional part of it. Yes, you're going to feel emotion. That's true. But I want you to be able to take it and look at the facts and see, okay, is this really that bad? Is this the end of life? Or is this just something that is inconvenient that I can move past? Is this something that's inconvenient that I can learn from? So having that ability to step back from the situation and look at it with intention of trying to find out what is the silver lining? How can I learn from this? What is the opportunity here? Is something that we all need to learn. We also need to have the ability to pull ourselves out of things, right? If something small happens, like you get a cold, and then you're like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. Well, compared to what other people are feeling, it's probably not the end of the world. But if you don't have the ability to pull yourself back out of that and have that plan, that contingency plan of like, how do I actually make this happen? How do I get back on track? And have those cues for yourself when those little gremlins come out and say, this is the worst thing that's ever happened. Oh my gosh, I'm never going to get to where I want to go. The universe is conspiring against me. Then you can let yourself get taken down pretty darn fast, whether it's a big thing or it's a little thing. So you need to start looking at, okay, what can I be saying to myself that is going to get me out of this? How do I reframe it to find the opportunity, the silver lining? And then what am I going to do the next time it happens? So learn from it so that you have the ability to make different changes, have different responses into the future so that when something awful like this happens, you can reframe it so it's not the end of the world. Until next time, I wish you a beautiful day. And if you are looking to really build that resilient mindset, I highly suggest you join my next challenge, the Pivot to Profitable Entrepreneurship Challenge, because we dig into all these things. We dig into seeing the opportunity. We dig into resilience. We dig into having a backup plan to get you back on track. It will change how you approach entrepreneurship. It'll change how you approach your career in general. So make sure you get signed up for that. And I will see you next time.